Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Miss Cosmopolita's Diary. And today we're going to talk about my trip to Vietnam. As you might have guessed, yes, this is the hat I purchased over there. If you guys haven't subscribed yet to my channel to follow all of my adventures, please do now. And if you would like to know more about my story, go and subscribe and check out my previous videos. So in this video, I'm going to talk about only two cities, Vung Tau, which is right in the south, so it's the beach town, and Ho Chi Minh, which is quite more northern. It's only a 2-hour drive from Vung Tau. And I'm going to talk about the culture, the immigration, the food, and my overall experience of the place. So if you go to Vietnam, please make sure you check your visa requirements. I know, that's just, normal thing to do, right? But visa on arrival doesn't mean you're going to get the visa straight away. At the airport, we figured out that we need our approval letter to go to Vietnam and get that visa. So that has to be done online. And it's a bit of hassle, so we had to change our flights, and it was a little bit of inconvenience, and we lost some money. Anyways, we got to Vietnam, and that was another thing with the custom and immigration. Overall, the whole airport, the arrivals, is not made up for the tourists arriving and getting their visas on arrival. There are no signs anywhere, people walking around, being quite lost, and there are no services available to help them, really. So we spent overall 3 hours waiting for the visa and then going through the immigration itself. It was quite a hideous experience, and I guess it's worth it, but I think that if the government of this country wants tourists to come in a lot more, and they might want to make this process a lot easier, because it's quite a formality, collecting the money for the visas. Why not just simplify things, and why not just get a stamp or just order a visa online quickly and just get through it, Well, that's my personal opinion. After the immigration, we had a long drive, well, I guess 2-hour drive, but we were already exhausted anyways, to Vung Tau town. And on the trip there, I realized how I dislike Vietnamese music. I think I was tired and sick, and the music was so sad and monotonous and repetitive. I'm just not a fan, okay? And I realized that traffic there is quite crazy. There are lots of motorbikes and people just, driving crazy and honking all the time. Also, I figured out that they honk at any occasion. If they need to go, if they need to stop, if they need to warn, they have all kinds of beeping system, developed. If there's one short honk, it means something. If there's 2 short honks, it means something else. It's crazy. Everyone honks, and for example, trucks, they honk so loudly, and they just scare me. They scare people. I'm not sure what's up with that, but it was quite a noise pollution. It's difficult to bear, really. So Vietnamese people, if you are watching, can you please comment below, why are you doing it? Why is it necessary to honk like that? I'm just really curious. So the first difference we noticed in Vietnam is how fresh it's there, the wind is blowing and it's not so hot and humid, and it's fresh air. We spent quite a long time in Kuala Lumpur, which is very humid and you can't really breathe there. So that was a really nice observation. Overall, the hotel we stayed in was really cool, and the city overall was looking nice from the drone. We actually took a drone for a flight, so have a look at the footage. We took a lot of walks along that long beach in Vũng Tàu, and that was the perfect beach. It reminded me of a Spanish beach. It was quite long and flat, and it's just amazing. I don't know. You guys need to check it out for yourself, right? The only thing I dislike is that how polluted that beach was. I mean, I was okay with the fact that we had a lot of trash laying around the beach, but my husband was not fan of that thing. I guess I'm not sure why that's happening, but it's just the thing with developing countries, I guess. Also, the whole place looks quite communistic. You have a lot of flags with the signs, you know, it's red flags with stars and other things that reminded me of my childhood actually, because my country in the past was communistic, and I remember when I was staying in my grandma's apartment, she would have lots of pictures that talk like in that kind of style, and that kind of reminded me of my childhood. There are lots of people working at the beach, and they do all kinds of things, collecting seashells and asking you for money and tricking you for money. And that's kind of normal, where you see a pretty boy, a little boy is just riding his bike and say hello, hello, and you're like, hi. He's like, money? I'm like, what for? So that was quite funny. I'm not sure why. People just think it's okay to ask you for money and you're gonna give it to him. It's quite sad, but that's what people do there. I mean, not all, but they're trying to survive. Apparently, according to a guide that we hired in Ho Chi Minh, people in Vietnam are quite poor. I mean, there's lots of rich and lots of really, really poor people, and they're trying to survive and earn money in any ways that possible. In Vũng Tàu, there is a huge monument, a statue of Jesus Christ, and it's huge and it stands like this. It's like in Rio, you know, similar, just like that on the hill. It's amazing, and you can go there and look at the city from the from the shoulder of the Jesus. So you have Jesus there because there are like 20 or 25% Catholics there, and that religion lives among 1% Muslims and all the others Buddhists. So overall, people in Vietnam are Buddhists, and well, also according to our guide, they're kind of Buddhists or whatever they are on paper, because they have to sign a paper. Yeah, my son is a Buddhist, and that's it. But they don't really care about religion too much. They don't really go to temples or churches so much. They don't really care, and they mix quite well. Like, they celebrate all kinds of religion holidays. And also, by the way, one funny fact about Catholics in Vietnam, they eat dogs. Yeah, are you surprised? Apparently they do eat dogs, just like Korean people, you know, but it's just something that they acquired during the years. Funny. So we didn't stay there too long, and we moved to Ho Chi Minh, and that's a quite diverse city. It's modern, and no, it's Asian city. You can see lots of street foods, lots of varieties of everything, different people walking around, a lot more tourists there. It's not like in Vũng Tàu, where my husband and I were asked to take a selfie with locals, and you're like, man, you're the only one white man walking around, so you're quite famous. Yeah. So the food is amazing. You can get all kinds of food, not a problem for a vegetarian as well. You can get Thai, Vietnamese, I guess there's lots of photos over there. But you guys, be careful. I warn you, because I got a severe food poisoning in Vietnam, and be careful. Well, be careful. I'm always careful with that, and I didn't really eat too much on the streets, or I wash my hands and do all kinds of normal hygienic rules, but I got sick. And a lots of people that get sick, I know, they would go to Vietnam, come back, get sick straight away. So just be careful, okay? We took a trip up to Mekong River Delta River, and that was a cool day cruising around that river and just learning about Vietnamese culture. We went to the villages and we kind of learned about their day-to-day life. I guess poor people life. They do a lot of farming, they grow a lot of fruits and also chocolate. They make chocolate, they do fishing. What else they do? And they entertain tourists, of course. And they all depend on the harvest. If something's wrong with the weather, or there are no rains and they can't grow their rice, or China doesn't want to buy this fruit or the rice or something else, they're just screwed. So these people are quite, well, I mean, they live in tough conditions, I guess. And sometimes they just, for example, if there's one type of fruit that's popular and they just like get rid of the trees they've had before, like all of a sudden, and just start to plant that type of a fruit. And they kind of like try to go with the flow. If you're in Vietnam, just be mindful that not very many people speak English. So you would have to potentially use Google Translate if that works. I'm not sure. Like, you need to figure out how to get around that place. Also, I just wanted to tell you about the accommodation in Ho Chi Minh that we stayed in. It was a 4-star hotel, and it was supposed to be a luxury, kind of luxury, like Asian luxury, I guess. Wasn't that cheap, but overall, the 4-star in Asia is like, I don't know, 2 or 3 stars in Europe. The place was quite dirty, and it was, you know, there were lots of wears and tears, and, you know, things were broken, and overall the hotel didn't look quite nice. So it's just like the observation we made. So one more thing to tell you guys, and that's like the main thing that would keep me from going to Ho Chi Minh again, is air pollution. It's crazy, along with this crazy traffic and honking and, you know, people just moving around like ants. It's so polluted. Like, you breathe in the air and it's so dirty, and you can smell your hair. It's crazy. I think I've had the headache all the time, and I thought maybe it's because I gave up drinking coffee. But maybe it's because of the air pollution. So people are just like wearing masks like everywhere. Face masks, they're all like kind of like fashionable, you know, face masks as well, like really cool ones. But some people wear it for the sake of it, you know. They just don't realize that it has to be sealed completely. Trust me, I worked at the mine site, and in order to get the fresh air, you know, through the mask, clean air, you have to seal it completely. You can't just have it hanging, you know, from the sides, because that's no point. That's just there. So be mindful. If you want to wear a mask, I saw lots of tourists wearing the masks. Not sure if that's helpful, but we were there only for 2 days, so I hope that didn't harm our health too much. But imagine those people that live there every day. That must be quite difficult. Okay, that's it for today, you guys. If you think that this was helpful, please give me a like. Also subscribe if you want to get notification about my other adventures in the future. Become my friend. Comment in this video, under this video, and ask me a question or two, and let's communicate and socialize. Thank you very much. Goodbye.